Hello and welcome back to another episode of Super Cynical Cinema, the podcast where we talk about really bad superhero movies. Maybe we'll have some good ones in there, but for the time being, they're just
it's almost
movies.
As bad as Magneto getting tricked by a wooden gun.
Why don't you write a cartoon?
Yeah, he's got a point, Sparks. Why don't you write a cartoon? I am one of your hosts, Jake Williams. That voice you just heard to tell the other guy to start a cartoon, that was Chance Oliver. And
I do like flying kites.
Just like Madonna, he has one name. It's Sparks.
Like Seal.
I like Madonna, personally. I prefer that. Like a virgin is what I would say to that, sir. Today we're talking about 2017's Zac Snyder / Joss Whedon movie Justice League.
Do either one of them want to own up to it?
Well, it's technically credited as Zach's movie. They didn't put Joss Whedon. I think he's just like
Joss came in after during post-production.
Yeah, he did all the reshoots, and you could tell where the cuts were made and where it was clearly Joss Whedon's movie and where it was Zac Snyder's movie. So we've got a Frankenstein of a movie.
Yep.
But before we talk about the actual movie itself, there's so much more to this whole story and whole saga. So let's first ask the most important question. Should we see, at some point, the Snyder Cut of this movie?
No.
Why not?
How could that be any better?
You think how much better it's going to be, it won't be that much.
It'll be that much more angsty. Although, the cringy jokes won't be there.
It'll just be cringe edge.
Well,
dressed like a bat.
I did say this. I said this on Chance's other podcast that he does, Box Office Bros. When I guessed it on there, I brought that up where I said that why would anybody want this? Because everybody was bitching about Zac Snyder being the head of that universe. And then the minute he's gone and it's a different movie, everybody's like, well, no, we want the Snyder Cut. It's not going to change the movie at all.
Dumb fucks.
And, I mean, honestly, I do think, and we'll have this is its own episode, but I think Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Cut, is a better movie.
I'll never know.
It actually makes sense. It's way too long. It's 3 hours, but it actually makes sense. It fills in, blocks and of narrative that were removed from the theatrical cut, and just certain things make more sense in the Ultimate Cut. I don't think that's going to be the same in Justice League because it was a jumbled movie anyway.
Okay, I'll say this about Justice League. At the very least, it has a cohesive idea of what story it is. It's... Unfortunately, they went about this all ass backwards. They did the reverse Avengers, where it's like, hey, we spent a lot of time curating and setting all of these characters' stories, with the exception of Hulk, Hawkeye, and Black Widow, because fuck them. But we have spent time curating their stories, making you care about these characters, and now we're going to put everybody together with one good story. They're going to fight a little bit at the beginning, but then they're going to come together as a true tour de force. And this movie was like, lol, fucking Wolfgang, Jesus fucking Christ, Steppenwolf is here.
Steppenwolf.
Fucking, lol, Steppenwolf is here. He wants all the mother boxes for things they don't really do. Batman knows where everybody is. Insert joke. Bro Aquaman, roll credits.
Hell yeah, bro Aquaman.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think this movie does that bad of a job giving backstory to
But the problem is it spent all of its time doing that.
And I think maybe it's just because I have the knowledge coming into the movie, and I already have that going for me, so maybe that's different for me. But I honestly, watching this back, didn't think they did a bad job putting everybody in the movie and kind of patching it in. Now, if I were a non-comic book reader, somebody that's not into this stuff, I probably would be confused a little bit.
Come into this
but, like the mother boxes, they don't explain any of that.
None of that.
I mean, they do.
None of that shit's true. It's all made up bullshit.
It's a comic book movie.
Don't even go down that road.
Flying men don't exist.
I'm sorry, my suspension of disbelief actually has continuity.
Tell me how Civil War in the MCU.
Oh
is the
God,
same
no, we're
thing
not going to
as-
jump down
as
that.
Civil War
No,
in the
we're not going to.
comics. That's what I'm saying. When you go down that, when you make that statement, that's what I'm gonna say. Because like the MCU changes a lot of stuff
Okay,
for convenience
first off,
too. So
that was not Civil War. That was Civil War in name because, oh God.
That's
Well,
literally
that's
changed
what
the
I'm getting
name.
at. Is the mother boxes are just the mother boxes. That's just like no, that's a thing in the DCU that's gonna get nerds to be like, oh boy, mother boxes.
Yeah, anybody
You know
has
what I
any
mean?
respect for the work that Jack Kirby did.
I do. I do have that mentioned in here that there's a reference to the old.
That's what
gods.
mother boxes are, God
Just a
damn it.
reference.
And they're the new gods.
He said that Wonder Woman reminded him of the new gods.
No, didn't he say you're of
Anyway,
the old gods? I am the new gods.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Never
Yeah,
mind that they couldn't have picked a less or more underwhelming villain for the entire fucking movie than Steppenwolf.
Well, they got cocky because originally this was supposed to be
It
two
was.
movies. They were going to do the Infinity War thing before Marvel, where they were going to split Justice League into two movies and have Steppenwolf be in the first part and then Darkseid be in the second part. I still think, but and I hate the fact that they made it just one movie out of that because why would you take the lesser known villain and put him in the
Why
one
use
movie?
them at all? Especially when you're trying to
Yeah.
fight against Marvel. At this point, you need to fucking just whip out your dick and go to town.
Yeah, but I think that's the issue they ran into with that is that they're already clearly doing the Marvel model, but in reverse. But then they also have to be like, oh, here's DC's version of Thanos. You know, because I mean, they're essentially the same character. Thanos
Whoa!
and Darkseid are pretty
Don't
much the
you
same
dare.
character.
No.
They are.
First off, Darkseid is
I'm
way
listening.
more badass.
I'm listening how they're different. I don't know. Josh
fuck
Brolin
it.
kind of killed it.
He's a nerd who likes math, Sparks. Fucking idiot.
And he shoots laser beams out of his goddamn eyes that can turn
Superman
corners.
does that every day.
No, Supermans do not turn corners.
All he needs is a fucking mirror placed at every corner, which he could do because he's Superman. And there, can turn a corner.
Yo, Thanos murdered the whole Avengers in the comics, and in the movies, he beats the shit out of the original Trinity of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So
the second time
What up?
around.
yeah, whatever. Anyway, quick question before we actually get into the movie. One final thing about the behind the scenes stuff. How much of it do you think is actually Zach's movie,
Ugh,
and how
oh
much
God.
of it is studio /
Okay.
Josh Sweden?
Any scene that has a cringy laugh or really weird exposition is Joss Whedon.
And then any scene that's in the dark and brooding and kind of weirdly paced moodiness,
Bingo.
Zac Snyder.
That's him all the way. That's like if you watch a movie and there's a lens flare. Clearly, you know who directed it. JJ. What?
What did you say? I didn't hear you.
Kubrick.
Oh yeah, Stanley Kubrick, the originator of the lens flare.
He's got that angry. That guy's got that angry look at the camera with the lens flare in the background.
All those lens flares in The Shining.
Did you see that meme where they said that Stanley Kubrick, every time he made his signature thing, was the villain always had a furrowed brow and he's staring down the barrel
Yeah.
of the camera, and then they have Jack Nicholson from The Shining. They have the dude from A Clockwork Orange, and then the dude from Full Metal Jacket, and then it's Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, I saw that.
Boy, what about Eyes Wide Shut?
Maybe that was another meme, but I've always just seen the one with Ben Shapiro, and I just thought that was hilarious. Because that also was the same time he said he wanted to see Brett Kavanaugh's junk. Anyway,
Yeah, that was a
let's talk
weird
about
note to end on.
movies.
Wow.
Stuck the landing.
So let's get into Justice League. The movie opens with
Oh, God.
Batman, which you can. I will say this: I like that they got Danny Elfman to do some of the score here, because this is clearly Danny Elfman doing a classic Batman style score for the scene.
It's a good So you got Batman, or you got a robber backing out of it doing a heist, and Batman's doing Batman things, which is just sitting on a gargoyle watching it happen. Which
he's one of the guys in Mindhunter.
Okay.
If anybody
and I'm
watches
cool
that
with
show.
this. This is very Batman, in Gotham. And then he fucking captures him, and then he's like, he drops him over the edge. He's like, fear, they can smell it, because we know exactly what the fuck he's talking about before a fucking, oh God, what the fuck do they call them?
Parademon?
Parademon, thank you. Parademon fucking shows up, and then we go through that whole rigmarole, and then it fucking explodes. But here's my
I did.
okay. Here's my problem with the entire scene though. After it's all said and done, Batman just fucking leaves, and the Kirk is just left to his own devices.
Which I thought was a funny joke.
I thought it was like, wait, that's fucked up.
It's just, I think it's funny because the DCEU's version of Batman's just.
Why would he give a shit if he
kills people? Yeah, right. He's just like, fuck it, I'm leaving this guy.
Fuck you.
Despite the fact that he, in earshot of the bad guy, just goes Alfred and kind of just
never mind that.
And I'm like,
well, okay.
Everyone's named Alfred.
So then on top of that, and this might be my one complaint with the Batman in this universe as it is, he is, I don't know if it's just me, like watching him fight bores the living hell out of me.
Did you? Well, obviously you did not watch Batman v Superman.
He just doesn't look as powerful as you'd think he would.
there's a scene in Batman v Superman.
You have
where
narcolepsy if that
it
bores
looks like
you with Batman v Superman.
Yeah, okay, you're talking about the
that
post
scene in
Martha
that
scene.
movie,
Yeah.
Yeah, because that looked like Batman Arkham.
But everywhere else, what the fuck?
Yeah, this movie he's kind of just slowly moving around.
He's not
really
Batman.
doing much. Well, I mean, you can tell Affleck's phoning it in. Like I think he enjoyed BVS, and I think he had fun with that. But then I think it's somewhere along the line, maybe it was all the reshoots and all the trouble that went behind the production of this movie. He just does not give a shit in this movie. He's kind of just bleh.
Where on the flip side of that, Gal Gadot, fuck me, she kills.
Oh, she's so good, and like there was a good call on her being Wonder Woman. I mean, she's not the best actress, but I think she plays the part really well.
She does quite fun. She does quite well.
She's also really creepily shot in this movie.
A lot of ass
Yeah,
shots.
imagine that.
Who would have thunk?
Gotta get them teenage boys.
Yeah, Zac Snyder is... Because if anybody who didn't see Sucker Punch doesn't know that Zac Snyder's a fucking creep.
Whoa, hold on now. Joss Whedon does that too, because there are tons of just straight up ass shots of Black Widow in the Avengers movies that he directed. So I also think it's a trope of the genre. They're like, we gotta get them teenage boys whacking it.
Can you send me that clip? I need it for reasons.
But yeah, her skirt, I will say, her skirt is like super short, and there's always ash.
It's always that up angle.
Which would normally lead...
I mean, she's attractive.
Which would lead me normally to another question of wondering about the Amazonian standing on undergarments. But that's for another podcast.
Are you asking if she wears underwear? You
gotta wonder, because the rest of them are kind of wearing furs and shit. But there's never. And you're talking about upskirt shots. You're like, I wonder.
See, that's how they get us, guys. This is the problem.
This is how someone fires me. This is how someone fires me. I guarantee it.
We're gonna get Me Too'd so hard because of this.
Way to go, Sparks.
Yeah.
So after the Batman scene, we get an opening credits, and the montage is everybody mourning the death of Superman and all that stuff. There's one thing I wrote down in my notes that I really had to point out. And this again comes out in 2017, so not much later after these people died. There's a newspaper shot of David Bowie, Prince, and Superman, and it says quote, did they return to
Yeah,
their
fuck
planet?
those people.
And I'm like, what kind? That's such a lame
okay. If it were the
joke.
National Enquirer, I'd give them a pass.
But yeah, it wasn't at the Daily Planet.
Which
Hey,
means
what
it's
if
your-
it was like
that?
Elvis and Tupac or something like that?
It would have been the same effect. Instead, they
but
decided to
no-
drag.
Yeah, I think.
Instead, they decided to drag fucking Bowie into it.
I think I don't know if they would do something like Tupac or Elvis, because when you have somebody like when you have Prince and Bowie, you have like these weird kind of flamboyant.
Okay, they're called
characters.
artists.
That would make more sense. Yeah, sure.
Whatever you say.
kind of androgynous. So yeah, we get the opening credits, and then we immediately jump to Paris, France, and there seems to be some sort of like break-in, like it's a bank robbery. I think
it's staged to look like a bank robbery, but they're
right.
reactionary terrorist cells because they're upset that there's aliens and everybody on their planet.
So they're basically incels?
and their
what
problem. My problem in all of this is their reaction to having aliens on their planet is to attack a bunch of innocent people. Your logic is stupidly flawed.
They're Earth nationalists or globalists for short.
Yeah. A damn globalist taking out
The
civilians.
globalists or the nationalists, nothing makes sense.
And granted, I can't. So
I'm just saying.
within this time, they're marching in on the fucking bank or wherever it is, and of course, Wonder Woman's not psychic, so yeah, people end up dying. I had to kind of let that one go. I was like, there's no way she could have known. Fine, people die.
She's also okay.
Her, you can clearly tell that also that they knew going into this movie, they knew what they had with Wonder Woman, and they knew that her movie was actually good, and people really liked her. So I think they played her up a lot in this movie. And I really liked this scene. I thought it was really cool. And I gotta say, at first I really hated it, but I'm totally into it. That Wonder Woman theme, man, it bumps, slaps, as the kids say.
No, they don't.
Yes, they do.
Oh, I love it.
Okay.
I love it.
So my question is, I'm not great with Wonder Woman lore. I don't read Wonder Woman. Has there ever been mention of her actual speed? Because she's almost moving at like Flash level quickness there.
Yeah, so the terrorists that come in, they throw people up, they've got hostages. She finds out. She comes in, and yeah, they do a slow-mo shot. They really love the slow-mo shots in this movie, so I think that's the Zac Snyder scenes. So she runs in, and it's sort of slow-mo of her blocking it with the bracers, and yeah, she like moves and like does these spin moves, and she looks like she's moving as fast as like the Flash or Superman.
Within reason, but yeah, really fucking quick.
I don't think they've ever mentioned that in the books, as far as I know. Again, I don't read a ton of Wonder Woman, so I'm not the expert on that. But yeah, I've never really heard anything about her speed.
I mean, it's gonna be above human, but that's really like we're talking bullet time.
Because he is shooting at a machine gun, and she's just like ping, 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 knocking them all away, and it's a cool scene.
Yeah.
I really dug it. I can't wait for Wonder Woman 84. I really hope they change the name, but I can't wait for that.
No,
movie.
I can dig the title. I think it's
Wonder Woman
no,
1984.
just 84. I think it honestly at that point a title like that would definitely set it apart from any normal sequel sequence.
I can't wait to get a fucking trailer for that.
Yeah, it'll probably be this 2020's Comic-Con probably.
No, it comes
When is
out
that
next
movie coming
summer.
Out even? I don't even know.
Jesus.
Yeah, I think
Like,
it
it
comes
was
out
supposed
before
to come
that.
out this summer, then they
Actually.
bumped it back a year.
And you know what? Fine, cool. Take your time.
No, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, because that's the only like. I mean, I actually liked Aquaman, but that I think that's the one that's universally liked is
And
Wonder Woman.
Shazam.
So, yeah, take your time with that. Yeah, and Shazam, I guess technically is in that universe. I don't even know what they're doing with it. Because real quick, little deviation here. Are we just gonna pretend Suicide Squad didn't happen, but then still have people from that movie?
Okay.
it's-
First off, did you
But then say
did you
reboot?
see the teaser trailer for Birds of Prey?
Yes.
Yes, I did. I saw.
So clearly
it
we're
in
not
theaters.
ignoring it. And also we're getting a quote-unquote reboot with James Gunn.
Basically, they're just gonna.
The Birds of Prey. I don't even fucking know. I'm not even gonna
Basically,
try to
they're
pretend
just
I know.
gonna pretty much with Batman's character. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you look different." Yeah, whatever.
To who
Or-
though? They're not going to have many of the returning characters. Like we're talking
Well-
like they're bringing in like fucking Bronze Tiger.
Well, okay. Affleck's been out as Batman for a while. Pattinson's Batman's supposed to be him for like 20 years before you see him originally.
Yeah, but I don't think Pattinson's going to be in the I don't think they're doing this whole fucking continued universe anymore. They've just put a quit on it.
Well, then explain how they could even make a sequel of Wonder Woman
Because they're making
at
a
all if
they're making
not
but if they're not going
continuing
to continue with the connected universe with Batman and Superman and Justice League, they're just going to go back to
Characters are
making
just gonna look different.
movies.
That's all it's gonna be.
Yeah, pretty much. By the way, it is going to be called Wonder Woman 1984, and it will be coming out June 5th, 2020. This is the release date. As far as I know, it's continuing obviously it's continuing from Wonder Woman and Justice League and all that. I still don't know how I feel about Kristen Wiig being Cheetah, but we will.
We'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
We will definitely see. I think it'll be fine. I don't know how I feel about Chris Pine. I know it's probably going to be flashbacks.
No,
but
it's gonna
Chris Pine is Green Lantern.
no, it's gonna be somehow his relative who kind of just ends up looking like him.
yeah, probably something like that, something stupid like that, because it's a comic book movie. So yeah, she's into this movie, and then we jump back to Bruce Wayne, or Batman, I guess. And this is where we set up him meeting Aquaman for the first time. This is the scene that's all over the trailers when this was coming out. He walks into the bar, says, "I knew a guy, Arthur Curry, said he used to bring the water, like he came in with the ties or something like that." And then we have the line where he says something. I can't even remember what he said to Aquaman, but Aquaman slams him against the wall, and he's like, "I heard you could talk to fish," or something
So
like that.
okay, so this is where the movie starts to get weird for me because these are continuity gaps between that and Aquaman. Because in Aquaman, he's living in the lighthouse with his dad, and everything's all fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie, he's off in like fucking Iceland, just chilling out with people.
Mood swing, probably.
But that raises the question. So, did we go from Justice League into Aquaman?
Yes, because Mira says you helped defeat Stephanie.
She referenced it. Yeah. She references Justice League.
So I guess once he's done with Aquaman, he goes and just like, "Hey, Dad, I'm gonna crash at your place for a while." Haha. Bro, dude, beer.
Well, I think it was I think what he was saying is like he like goes around and helps these like nautical towns. Like he's going around all over and helping these towns and stuff because he mentioned something about he came in with the tides, and that was kind of like a reference to him just like going with the ocean and helping people. I think is what they're trying
I guess,
to say.
but even at the same rate, because you look at what they did in Aquaman, like, so in Justice League, he fucking not to jump too far forward. When they start going after the mother boxes, he just dives right down to fucking Atlantis.
Who cares? This movie's all over the
Dives
place
down
anyway.
to fucking Atlantis. It's like he's on top of it, and also they have to use a bubble to talk instead of Aquaman, where they can just talk underwater.
I love how they fucking ditched that.
James
in
Wan
Aquaman.
was
They're
probably
like,
like, yeah, that's
people.
fucking stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure that, and like everybody on Twitter, and he's just like, you know what? That's a good point. Let's just. I mean, these people live in the water. Why the fuck do they need an air bubble? Yeah, I don't know. And that's the problem of this whole entire universe. We just talked about it. How we don't even know what they're trying to do with the Suicide Squad stuff or the Batman stuff. Like even still, after the universe that was started back in 2013, we still don't know what they're trying to do. And you're right. That is a big continuity gap of like. These movies are connected, but somehow they ignore each other at the same time, and it blows my fucking mind. I don't know how that's possible.
They just didn't do their homework.
But it is, I guess. You know what? I'll give it credit. It is very similar to comic books, where you get a writer that comes in for a run on a comic book, who clearly did not read the other person's run and just says, "Fuck it, I'll make my own continuity from this."
But that's
kind
not
of what it's like.
But we're talking the difference between movies rather than the jumping between like Scott Snyder's Batman and Tom King's Batman.
But you know what I'm like? You'll have somebody like Brian Michael Bendis who does not give a shit about continuity. Will go in and make his own continuity inside something, or he'll negate.
Or he'll
something,
make
or you see
fucking
it from
racial choices because diversity for diversity's sake.
Well, he has.
But so I'm saying
that are of color,
and so is he.
Yeah.
I think the problem is Warner Brothers was they have the wrong person involved, whereas with Disney, with who they have involved with their Marvel division, they have Kevin Feige who actually cares about this stuff and made it a tight-knit thing, whereas Warner Brothers, you don't really have a figurehead, and you just have a bunch of people just going. This is how I picture it. I picture it as like an office, and they're like, here's the DCEU setup, and here's the office for the Batman movie and the Wonder Woman movie, and then we walk by and be like, is that in your movie? Yeah, well, that's fucking stupid. I don't want that in my movie. Oh, don't worry about it. They don't pay attention to this shit anyways. Like, I feel like that's how they treat us.
Sorry. Well, actually, for a minute there, I remembered there was a hot minute where everyone was like, oh, yes, Zac Snyder is going to be the new Kevin Feige for DC. We're like, no, fucking no.
Yeah.
We're all fucked.
I don't know why they picked him to be the guy to run the show. I don't get it.
Well, they picked Jeff Johns after him, and Jeff Johns did it as shitty as.
I don't know about that.
Okay,
Jeff Johns.
Okay, Jeff Johns had to try to build an empire made out of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas Zack Snyder just shit it out.
I honestly.
Well, Jeff Johns pissed off like Ben Affleck and everyone.
Then fuck Ben Affleck. Because Jeff Johns is a master storyteller, and anybody who says otherwise needs a fucking rail driven through their brain.
Jesus.
Jeff Johns isn't good at making movie stories.
Nerd alert. No, I will say that
Suicide Squad is his fucking.
that's true.
No,
mess.
do not pin that on
He didn't
him.
write that movie, but he was
He was fucking in charge, Sparks. Which is it? Is he bad or is he good?
Okay, ultimately, all of the decisions come down to the director.
I hate it.
Oh, now it's not his fault.
I hate it when I'm a dad fight.
Of course, it's not. Have you read Flash or Green Lantern Rebirth?
Here's what I'll say.
Or is Aquaman?
Here's
run?
what I'll say. Here's what I'll say about this. I think that Chance is right. When he first got brought in, he didn't do that good of a job. But I think he's kind of figured it out now, and he's turned the ship around.
Well, okay. No, he's out. It's Walter Hamada now.
Well, whoever it is, they've turned it around. They're making better movies.
They did an actual film producer like they should have.
But Johns is still involved in some way, in some capacity. I think he's still producing a lot of them.
Well, he's less in charge as he
Jeff
was.
Johns is the chief creative officer.
So there you go. Get your story straight, Chance.
Well, you know what Walter Hamada is? President of DC-based film production.
Then who's in charge? This is the problem. You know how easy it is to figure out who's in charge of the MCU? It's Kevin Feige. It's one fucking guy. Who's in charge? Is it Jeff Johns or the guy that Chance mentioned? I don't know.
Well, okay, first off, it was Kevin Feige eventually.
Eventually, yes. All right, back to the movie. What I wanted to mention, another thing about Aquaman, as he says, you dress up like a bat. You're really crazy, Bruce Wayne. Out loud with people around him, clearly in earshot, and I'm like, well, great. Now he's gonna have to. He just stopped trying to kill people. Now he's gonna have to murder all these innocent bystanders because you gave his identity away.
All these Icelandic people, they have no connection to the internet.
Yes, Icelandic motherfuckers are dead.
Do you guys have internet here? What? They start snapping their necks.
I mean, he has to bring them fish. Clearly, they're fucking cut off.
So from there we jump to Amazon, or Themyscira, sorry, where Steppenwolf is coming into play, and we kind of talked about this a little bit ago, but I see this in my notes. Why the hell did they really go for Steppenwolf instead of Darkseid? I just don't get that move.
They could have chosen Mongol.
They could have just skipped this New Gods bullshit and done a Mazo.
They could have done so many things.
Yes, they could
have just done Dark Superman. They could have just been fighting Dark Superman the whole time.
Yeah, they could have done Return of Superman.
Anyway,
The problem is they would never, because they'd have to do 3 other stories attached to that.
Yeah, and then you got
Well, they did it in Batman v Superman. That's exactly what they did in the last movie.
And that's why it's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I will say this, though. You know, we did mention that. This movie is still a little convoluted, but at the very least, it is a hell of a lot more focused than BVS. Because BVS goes so many different ways and different directions, and it's like...
Well, BVS tried to be the death of Superman, the Dark Knight Returns, as well as a beginning to a Justice League story.
Yeah, and then they shoehorn in Wonder Woman, which even in that movie, she's the best thing about this fucking universe is Wonder Woman. She was the best thing about BVS. She was the best thing about her own movie. She had her own movie that's great, and she's the best thing about this movie. It's just it's remarkable.
Well, now it's her and Zachary Levi.
Pretty much. All right, so we go with Themyscira. We find out they have one of the mother boxes. Is this where we get the backstory of the whole mother boxes, or I think it's a little bit later? Because Wonder Woman...
It's more or less here.
Because Wonder Woman's relaying the information to Batman. But this is one of my beautiful notes. Eternal warning flame, ? What the fuck? So when Steppenwolf goes after the mother box, they take it off this pedestal that they're guarding to fight him. And I just laughed at it because Wonder Woman's mom, who I can't remember who she is, she says, the eternal warning flame. He's coming for the mother boxes, and I just giggled at that because it's like such a silly name. Eternal warning flame? Really?
Oh, fuck.
Like the ouch fire.
I can't remember her name anymore. God damn it.
I could probably pull it up here. So that actually puts, again, not a bad sequence. I think some of these action sequences are kind of cool. I mean,
I feel like parts of it were laughable just in their logic, and it's not a flaw on the part of the movie. It's more the flaw on the part of the Amazons themselves, because the box has kind of just been beeping off and sending out a signal, and they're all in a room with arrows fucking pointed at it. Which is laughable to me.
And then
I get it, you're on the ready, but at the same rate...
Why would you take it out and then run away with it? I don't...
Yeah. But even that, okay, clearly Steppenwolf came in and they didn't light his ass up with arrows, so what was the point of that?
I think they did, and they just bounced off of him.
So then what was the point of the arrows?
Yeah, good point.
You guys have fought his ass before.
Look busy.
Pretend you know what you're doing.
And then on top of that, they fucking try to trap his ass in that temple, and he just fucking knocks through the walls. Like, well, that was pointless.
So, they have...
Thank God you didn't doom everybody else in there.
Some of the CGI kind of sucks, but I think that, like, the fights...
All of Steppenwolf?
I was gonna say about the fights, but I think overall, like, the fight choreography, I actually dug in this movie. I didn't think it was horrible. Despite the... Logically, it probably doesn't make sense. I did think, like, this whole chase sequence I thought was pretty cool. So, long story short, they lose, and he takes his first mother box and says, deuces, and teleports away in the boom tube thing.
Hippolyta. Jesus.
There's her name.
Smile spark now.
Does she get killed in this movie?
No.
No.
I figured they would.
No, because she actually has to help the one who got fucking crushed under the horse.
Yeah, and I figured they wouldn't have killed her, so they can put her back into... I feel like she's going to be a part of Wonder Woman 1984 at some point.
Hippolyta's too key of a character to kill off in a stupid movie like this.
Anyway, so, yeah, that happens. This is... Yeah, I have it in my notes. This is where we get the backstory of Wonder Woman explaining to Batman who Steppenwolf is, why he's here, he's coming to get the mother boxes. We have the whole fight sequence.
Why he doesn't have a magic carpet ride.
With Atlanteans and Amazonians fighting side by side, and then, hey, look, a Green Lantern showed up.
Yeah.
Blink and you miss it, there's a Green Lantern cameo.
Not even
Where the fuck did he go?
Okay, first off, not even a blink if you miss it, because he takes down the Green Lantern and then the ring flies off.
Yeah. He's actually, he swoops in. It's not a blink if you miss it. It's a phrase I like to use.
Come back, you unhelpful piece of jewelry.
But I'll give them credit. It was actually neat to see a Green Lantern.
It was a cool...
Because we didn't...
You saw one in 2011.
Shut up.
It was a cool reference. I mean, I was kind of bummed because I was like, well, why couldn't you just give us that? But,
Yeah, this, that instead of Cyborg.
I don't think he's bad I think other than Affleck, I think all these performances are good. They're just given shit to deal with. And
Ray Fisher has moments where he can really bring the. Well, okay, hold on. We'll get to Ray Fisher and Cyborg in a minute. Let's continue the train.
So that whole fight sequence happens. So then we get the the whole essence of what's going on. Batman makes a Doomsday Clock reference. Just wanted to throw that because that's in my notes. I was like, ha! Doomsday Clock reference.
Yeah, that was actually before Doomsday Clock even came out.
I was like, it's a Watchmen reference. So then from there, Batman goes back on his recruiting trip. He splits up, though. He says to Wonder Woman, hey, you go talk to the Robot Man, and I'll go talk to the fast guy.
For some reason.
So this is what bugs me in all of that, because before that we get introduced to Cyborg. And what's amazing is he's out there, just happens to be skulking around the same lake where Batman and Wonder Woman are. Because, he used the internet or whatever to figure out where they were.
Yeah.
But she sensed him and didn't say anything. It's like, when you were at the lake, it's like, oh, you got me.
Also, that scene is another gratuitous ass shot of Gal Gadot. Because when she's walking up to him, she's wearing some tight jeans, and you get an ass shot, and I'm like, yep, there it is again. Boner alert.
Oh, my God.
Not too gratuitous. Anyways.
Again, somebody's going to isolate that out of context and ruin my life. All right, so...
Can't wait.
So we get a mostly faithful backstory for Cyborg.
And the Flash is pretty faithful, too. I mean, they don't go super into it, but they do the whole storyline that his dad's in jail because they think he killed his mom, and he's trying to figure that out, and all that stuff's there.
Yeah, and that would be the influence of Jeff Johns writing Rebirth.
Exactly, and it's the same storyline in the TV show and everything. But
anyways, so we get Cyborg, and Ray Fisher, he does good moments when he's actually trying to convey emotion, but the writing is such utter dog shit. The rest of the way through, he comes off completely detached.
I think that kind of works in a way.
What?
Because it makes sense.
See, but that's the problem.
For him to be detached because he's a robot man.
See, but he's not.
No, his character isn't.
He has robot. He has robot parts, but he's still mostly human.
The motherfucker's catchphrase is "booyah."
Oh, Carrie Payton.
Booyah!
Have you watched season 3 of Young Justice?
I have not.
Nope.
Worth it.
I've heard it's very good.
Would you pirate it?
No, it's on DC
No,
Universe.
I paid the whole $10.
Wow.
I need to watch Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I'll get to that as soon as I watch Titans.
I need to watch that too because season 2's out now. Any Hoosiers?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw their Jason Todd and I said, "Fuck no, I'm not watching
I've
this."
heard it gets really.
Facetious?
It gets really good.
But anyways, he does fine. I think honestly, he could be more natural at times rather than, "Don't worry, Alfred, I've got this." Thank you, Hal.
You could also be wrapped in tinfoil because it probably looked just as good as the expensive CGI.
Oh, the CGI is so fucking bad.
You can clearly tell this movie was rushed. Actually, before we meet Cyborg, we get the scene that was in the trailers to be like, hey, look, everybody, this movie has humor in it. It's not that dreary, dark movie that you saw the last time. It's...
Oh, God, the rich line?
Well, no, just the whole sequence was pretty much in the trailers where Batman meets Barry Allen. Again, I think Ezra Miller... Honestly, I think Ezra Miller is the best thing about this movie, and The Flash is the best thing about this movie, because he is 100% the audience, because he's always got this look on his face like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck movie are we in? And his comments pretty much show how I feel about this movie.
Okay, sure, but at the same time, I think he's utterly the most pathetic Flash I've ever seen.
Wow.
It's just because you're in love with Grant Gustin.
Because... No, he doesn't fight. He only knows how to push people and run away. Fuck you.
That's all Flash has to do.
That's all he has to do, but that's not what he knows how to fight. He can fight.
I mean, all he does is run and punch and then run around again and punch again. I don't know.
Or he comes in as a fucking whirlwind punch.
Personally, I think...
A fucking flurry.
I'm talking to the wrong guy because I think the Flash is lame.
The Flash is a one character with probably the most untapped potential.
Yeah, holla at me when he has a villain that isn't a speedster, and not a talking gorilla or shark.
The Rogues, you idiot!
Trickster, Mirror Master, motherfucking Captain Cold,
and Heatwave, and Weather Wizard,
Captain Boomerang, real fucking
no,
guys.
First off, Captain Boomerang in the Suicide Squad movies is actually kind of legit.
Yeah, Jai Courtney.
No, not that one. The animated movies.
No, I still kind of like Jai Courtney.
I thought he did.
He's actually kind of legit.
He did all right,
not the idiot not the Captain Boomerang that builds giant fucking boomerangs that fly around the city. Now, fuck that noise.
I like that personally because it shows you how.
When did that happen?
It shows you how stupid the Flash is.
Get out!
The Flash is overrated, dude. He sucks.
He does not.
The only thing that I like about the Flash is he gave me Gorilla Grodd, and that's because gorillas are my favorite animal, and I like a smart gorilla.
You are the worst.
He also chased Obama through his college dorm.
What?
Oh my God! Look at you pulling up the Legends of Tomorrow reference.
I have not watched that show, so I had no idea what that was.
Gorilla Grodd travels back in time and confronts Barack Obama, college-age Barack Obama, in his dorm room.
You're fucking kidding me.
And like chases us around, and doesn't he say like, Grodd no want change? No, I am not kidding you. I am deadpan serious. That is what happened.
That is
something to that said that. First off, the Flash is amazing because what other comic book character has their biggest nemesis literally be the reflection of them?
Every superhero?
Black Panther.
No.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman's is Cheetah. Batman's is Joker. Superman's is Lex Luthor.
What is Joker?
Which is Brawn versus Brains.
Not that a more deranged version
Chaos
of Batman.
versus Order.
You know?
Chaos versus Order.
You know I'm just trolling at this point.
I know.
Anyway, the Flash scene goes on a little too long in my opinion. I thought it was funny, but I thought it was just too long, and I also think it would have been better if I didn't see it in the trailers.
It's okay. So there were parts about it that are kind of great. He's living out of he's living out of a warehouse. I don't like the costume myself. It looks bad.
I kind of dig it.
His wide-eyed approach to everything is refreshing, but at the same point, the whole time, anytime we have the Flash, there's this really cringy humor that follows with it.
Yeah.
What's your superpower?
I'm rich.
Yeah. Ha ha.
I mean, he's wrong. He's telling the truth.
Yeah, but this is everything we've ever known, and he says it in such a fucking deadpan, matter-of-fact manner that's just fucking stupid.
Why do you hate this movie? I actually don't hate this movie as much as you do, man. I think it's okay. I think it's just okay.
I hate it because it had so much potential, and it just fucking kind of head up its ass.
I do like how they reference like how his suit is made, how he uses the material that astronauts use when they're coming back into orbit and they don't burst into flames. I like that, and I also like the fact that, I mean, it's kind of played for jokes, but I like the fact that he's just mashing on a pizza because he's like, hey, man, I burn a shit ton of calories, more than any normal human, so I got to constantly be eating. I kind of like those aspects.
Which comes up in a lot of different... It comes up in the TV show. Just like in the TV show, they talk about how he can't get drunk because of the way his body processes alcohol.
Which, man, that's unfortunate. It really is. I feel bad for him.
It would take a super alcohol to do it, and even then it wouldn't last for very long.
Do you think if he smoked weed, it would slow him down? Maybe?
No.
No? You don't think it'd work? I don't know.
No.
Imagine him on Adderall.
I doubt it'd have an effect.
This is every day for me, man. And no, it'd probably level him out.
But it's
Cyborg.
Ezra Miller is fine.
Yeah. Go on.
For my money though, I'm still with Grant Gustin. He's infinitely more likable.
I'm gonna be honest. I haven't watched The Flash since the second season. So.
But tell me, as a Barry, Grant Gustin is more likable than Ezra Miller.
Yeah, and I think this movie.
Maybe in the first 2 seasons.
Again, not their fault. For some reason, the CW shows have this bad habit of just fucking sucking after their second seasons.
Well, it's probably because they have to make
Crisco,
22...
I messed up the timeline. Why does the world hate me?
Yeah.
Why did you say Crisco?
Because
I thought you said Cisco.
the other the other Dr. Harrison Wells calls him Crisco when he first meets him. No?
No, I don't remember, dude. That was so fucking long ago.
So after that
Wow.
that goes down, we get a scene with
In
Aquaman,
time.
and he has the slow-mo shot of when he's just, the water's behind him and he's drinking some booze, and he's got a drinking problem. I think we need to talk about that.
Well, he saves that one guy from, the shipwreck where the fucking parademon did something.
Yeah.
I don't even know what.
Parademon was there because they could smell the fear of this guy thinking he was going to die in a shipwreck.
Yeah, but somehow the guy's covered in parademon blood. So I don't know if the parademon just crashed into his ship.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember. I've only seen this movie twice.
No, it's never mentioned. It just is.
Yeah. And then she's like, oh, I guess these parademons really are a threat. I better go talk to Bruce Wayne and join the Justice League.
Well, no, you're skipping the whole. He goes down to Atlantis.
And then he goes down to Atlantis, and they lose the mother box there. And then he's like...
Although I will argue, he kicked Steppenwolf's ass harder than the Amazons did.
Yeah. He actually put up a decent fight, but fucked up. And then we have the infamous air pocket scene with Mira.
Although, can I say, for my money, if we'd have gone through that whole scene with a fight with Steppenwolf and then Steppenwolf cut his arm off and we get hook-handed Aquaman, I'd have been okay with this.
Oh, and that would have been cool to see him in the traditional Aquaman armor with the hook. I would have been okay with that.
Yeah, I'd have been,
Maybe in the sequel.
Yeah.
So cool with this.
I could imagine that. Can't wait to cover Aquaman, because that movie, oh boy.
I actually like the movie.
Bonkers and amazing.
I love it, but it's so stupid, and I love it for it.
It's directed by the guy with the the Fast Five. Of course, it's bonkers and stupid.
Let's get that shitty Africa cover.
And that cover is so... I was enjoying myself, no matter how shitty it was.
That movie's too long. Anyway,
Mr.
Oh,
Worldwide.
it's super long.
Anyway, then we go back to Cyborg, and they pretty much have the team formed at this point. I have in my notes that Cyborg looks like a Terminator.
Mostly.
Mostly.
Yeah. Well, then it's like, so then they determine, hey, our best chance is to bring Superman back.
No, we're not there yet, because
No.
the team's pretty much formed. Aquaman hasn't joined yet, and they find out where Steppenwolf is, and he's like, he went to Star Labs.
Chernobyl.
No, he goes to Star Labs because he knows that they had a mother box at Star Labs. He goes there.
Oh yeah.
And Cyborg's dad's there with a team of scientists, and he's got them all lined up as like hostages, and he's gonna keep killing.
Down in the fucking tunnels underneath Gotham. Yeah.
He's gonna kill everyone until he finds out. So then, Flash, Batman, and Wonder Woman and Cyborg are like, all right, let's go stop him. So they show up, and I'll say again, with all the flaws of this movie, this scene has a really cool moment that I thought actually stood out to me that I really liked. And I don't know if it was
the Flash part.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was I think that's a Joss Whedon choice where Batman just tells Flash, save one person. And that was a cool moment of him mentoring him and saying, like, just save one person. That's all we're here for.
Well,
like, we just put that in your brain, and then we can be able to save these people.
Yeah, it's a nice character moment. In addition to that, the shot with him pushing Diana's sword was really nice.
Again, I think they did some cool, like they did. I like what they did with the Flash in this movie, in certain parts.
Yeah, I give it 60-40.
But yeah, when he says to save one person, he's like, he does, and then he just keeps saving people while Batman and Wonder Woman are fighting Steppenwolf, getting their asses kicked, which is funny.
Which is funny because Batman can't even say that he's fighting. He's just driving around in the fucking crawler.
Again, say what you want about this movie. They point out how useless Batman really is in the Justice League. He's just like, you guys keep fighting. I'm going to take this Parademon's gun and just hang out and just camp and snipe people.
God. Which is not a good
Snipe
Batman, because comic book Batman still would have been out there fucking duking it out.
Yeah. But I just thought that was funny where he just pew, pew, pew. So they're fighting. They're losing. And then the crawler, Batman at one point is like, Alfred, bring me the crawler. And he does, but then Cyborg hops in and is like, nah, it's okay, Alfred. I've got this. And takes over the crawler like by sticking his arms into it.
Mine now, bitch.
Yoink.
I wouldn't do that if I were you, Dave.
This is my crawler now, Alfred. So he's going in there. There's a whole fight sequence. They shoot a rocket at Steppenwolf, and he catches it and then throws it into the like some pipes.
I feel like this is the worst instance of how the fuck did you idiots not see that coming?
Where he just catches it and then just throws it over.
Well, not even that. You're firing a rocket down a tallway or down a tunnel where you're underwater. How did you think this was going to play out?
And then as they think they're going to drown and die, boom, Aquaman shows up and kind of helps and saves them.
Kind of,
but not
he
really.
He buys them a little time.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't stop them from possibly drowning, but I guess he buys them the time. Honestly, I kind of liked this scene in a way that clearly none of these dipshits know how to work together, and that would make sense to me.
Sure, that's like the helicarrier scene in Avengers.
Yeah, when they're all fighting, when they're all arguing with each other, and
exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense.
God, I wonder where they might have taken that beat from.
Like any team up movie ever. Just like Avengers.
Just like Mystery Men.
Ugh. That's a stay tuned and a half.
That's a fucking awesome movie.
We're gonna cover that movie now. Chance.
Oh God.
Don't you? Oh God, that movie rocks.
I haven't seen it in a while, but
This might be a Venom situation, Chance. So Chance, what'd you think of this scene? Because you're kind of quiet over there, bud.
oh, about the we're angry at each other scene?
Yeah, the whole sewer sequence.
It's just like, I don't know how, like you were saying about Steppenwolf is like, all right, we're gonna shoot this. Oh shit, got it. Fuck.
Nobody thought this would end. But
All right, it's okay, guys. We're just underground. Where are we? Oh, under Gotham Harbor.
Better fire rockets.
Hopefully the Fishman shows up and saves us.
Yeah, thank God he knew where we were.
Yeah, that's another. That's a great point. That's kind of a plot hole. Like, how did Aquaman? I guess he just went to Gotham and guess
he just kept asking the fish.
Fish told him.
Just strangling a fucking salmon. Where are
Hey guys,
they?
did you guys feel a sudden drop in pressure somewhere?
A minnow's a fucking narc.
Cops are just like, hey, what? Sir, what? And he's just fucking choking a fish. What are you doing? He's like, I'm looking for Batman. And there's like, there's literally a sign we have outside, man. You just gotta look up.
I'm pounding this tuna. You're what?
No, that's what I'm gonna do to your wife. What?
Oh no!
Yeah! Woo!
So then they go back to the Batcave.
And this is where they decide, hey, we got this mother box.
Well, okay, first
Let's
off,
be
we get that one-liner drop again. Dressed like a bat.
I dig it.
God. Aqua Bro.
I do appreciate they toned him down a little bit in the movie, in the Aquaman. But
He grew up between movies.
His dad set him straight.
yeah, he went back to visit his dad. He's like, hey man,
His dad beat
you
him.
gotta stop saying, yeah, yeah, woo,
My man.
yeah, dig it.
Django Fett set him.
So yeah, they got the mother box, and Batman's like, look, we can't do this with just us. We're not working as a team. even though I kind of fucked up the last movie and kind of killed him, I was wrong. He was the best of us. We should bring him back. And Wonder Woman's like, no, man, he's dead. Let it go. You fucked up. Live with your mistakes. And Batman's like, we need Superman. Steppenwolf's been kicking our ass. And then Cyborg's like, I agree with him. And then the Flash is like, I'm just here. And then Aquaman just says, woo! so then they decide, all right, we're going to bring back Superman from the dead.
Okay, so this is one part that makes me laugh in all of this. Batman has to justify, like, he's the best of us. No, Batman, say what you mean. Okay, we fucking suck. We need him.
Yeah, we need a team captain, essentially.
We need the swollest of the swole.
We need somebody who can actually take a fucking beating here because we suck.
Batman has a sick burn where he's like, hey, he was only on the Earth for 33 years, and he had somebody he loved, and he had a family. All you had was Steve Traynor. And I was like...
Trevor.
Or Steve Trevor, yeah. And I was just like, ooh.
Oh, shit.
He's pretty much like, where the fuck have you been if you've been on the planet for this long, and you showed up briefly during World War I, and that's it? Where were you, bitch? Kind of thing.
Surely you fucked someone else.
So then she shoves him, and I appreciate it.
Well, then clearly we're going to learn what she's doing in the 80s.
Oh, she'd be fucking. So anyway.
Well, it was the 80s. Everybody was fucking doing coke.
Yeah, we turned out it's...
Probably Steve's, like, younger brother's kid. That's who she's banging.
And then she keeps saying Steve, and he's like, that's not my name.
That's not my name. That was my...
And then she puts his sword to his throat and says, it is now.
Jesus Christ.
He says, oh my God, my name's Steve.
You are now Steve the Pirate.
If Gal Gadot were to say to you, hey, your name's Steve, you better believe you're like, okay, my name's Steve.
Okay. Yeah, what's up?
As if Gal Gadot said my name is Steve, I was like, fuck, yes, it is.
My name is, yes, you're right. That is correct. So they decide, again, this is probably our most sexist episode. Jesus.
Wait till we talk about Wonder Woman.
Zac Snyder's fault. Well, she's not shot like a creep in Wonder Woman.
Yeah, because a woman is directing the movie.
And to be fair, we talked about Elektra, but the only thing we focused on were Jennifer Garner's ears.
Yeah.
That was weird.
God, we sound horrible.
We took that bitch to task.
We sound like the Democrat.
Oh my God.
Jeez. Anyway, what's in your wallet? Let's talk about Flash.
More than the value of a movie of Elektra DVD.
So they decide to say, hey, let's go dig up the corpse. And again, not what I anticipated seeing this movie, where Flash and Cyborg are just casually digging up a corpse.
Actually, I do love the one-liner between Flash and Cyborg. Like, is it wrong if we use our powers to dig them up, make it even faster?
I did enjoy that. And then, well, that's just Flash being the audience. We're like, that
has to be Joss Whedon humor.
This is kind of fucked up, man. Like, we're digging up this dead body.
That has to be Joss Whedon humor.
So they dig him up. They bring him back to his ship, and they put him in the water like Lex did for Doomsday, or well, I guess Zod's body. To do.
Oh, you mean for Flipper?
That's Zodbod.
That's Zodbod. So they're like, oh well, we got to do it. We gotta.
Oh yeah, Michael Shannon.
We need a current to charge this thing to bring him back. It's like a defibrillator, pretty much. So they're like, "Oh, we got a fast guy on the team. You do it." And he's like, "All right, I'm gonna go to the end of that hallway, and I'm gonna run back, and I'm gonna touch this thing at the right time, and we're gonna bring back Superman." And sure enough,
yeah, there's a lot of bullshit in that one.
There's a lot of yada
what,
yadas.
that he could build up that enough electric current and that.
No, the timing was that perfect.
It's a fucking superhero movie, Sparks.
Oh my God.
I thought Flash could do anything.
Yeah, I thought he was so good, dude. I thought he was so cool.
He is. It doesn't mean the timing on there is fucking perfect.
Yeah, and then boom, we get, I think, probably the coolest sequence of the movie.
And the lamest CGI.
Exactly. It's ruined because of the close-up shot at the end. So then Superman
Baby mouth
is reborn, and everybody's like, oh shit, we better go get him. And Batman's like, I'm going to hang back a little bit. Probably a good idea.
Awkward.
So then he flies off,
Wise.
and he finds a memorial, one of the memorials of him, and he's kind of just looking at it and like upset. And at this point, we get pretty much Dark Superman. And
for a minute.
Well, it's amazing because everything was pretty calm until Cyborg's defenses started fucking firing.
Yeah, well, he's kind of just trying to figure things out, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, oh no. And like, this is the problem I have with that idea, is like, you're telling me that Cyborg, who is able to hack into things and pretty much have all the control of everything on him and all of his abilities, and now all of a sudden it starts malfunctioning?
Cyborg's clearly a racist.
Exactly.
This is actually why I like. Well, there's
racist against Kryptonians.
So the way they actually did him in Young Justice season 3, I actually think would be a better explanation of why he wouldn't have control over something like that. But again, you'd have to.
It was a failsafe, I think, is what they try to say in this. Like,
Sure.
it detected him as a threat or something, and so
He's too buff. We need to kill him.
that dude's joked he's gonna fuck with us. Cyborg's like, oh shit, my defenses are going crazy. Before that, somehow Cyborg manages to X-ray Aquaman. I'd somehow guess his pulse and be like, hey, your heart rate's going up, calm down. He's like, well, he's Superman's, and he does have a good line. He's like, your heart rate's going up. He's like, yeah, my adrenaline's pumping because Superman's here. Like, he's pissed clearly, and they have their whole fight sequence, which I thought was really fun and really enjoyable.
And then Bruce shows up.
I really liked the fact that, but the problem I did have, I think he beat Wonder Woman up a little too easily for my liking. I think I would have liked her to put up more of a fight than it looked like, but maybe.
I think Aquaman should put more of a fight, too.
Yeah, because they're all pretty. I mean, Superman is the strongest, but they all are very. They're all pretty much gods. So, to me, it makes sense that they'd all have a fair fight with him. Maybe it's because they weren't trying to fight. Is the kind of the justification behind that? With like, she was like, "Don't make me do this," and she was gonna do her guitar riff, and he's like, "Nah, dude, I'm gonna catch that."
Yeah, so she tried to clap her fucking bracelets together, and he's like, nah, I got this.
Well, that was her last resort, because she's like, don't make me do this. Because she did the rope thing, it didn't work. Cyborg tried to do, like, shoot at him or something, that didn't work. Aquaman got fucked up because he had a fork, as Batman called it. And then...
I hate how her finisher is just a ground pound with her bracelets.
Yeah, and then the guitar riff afterwards. Hits that, but he catches it, says nah, but she still has him tied up, close to quarters. And then they got him. And then Flash is like, all right, it's Barry's time to shine. And then he runs around and he's running up. And this is probably the coolest shot of the movie when he's running up. And then you see Superman's eyes look over at him. And then you see Flash
that was cool.
being like, oh fuck, like I thought that was awesome. Yeah, because he's like, he literally, I think he mouths holy shit. And then yeah, Superman comes around, hits him. And then stupid ass Batman. That's the thing with these movies, man. Batman's a fucking idiot. So Batman's like,
because he's played by Ben Affleck.
Hey Bruce, or hey Clark. Bruce is my name. Hey Clark.
Wait, hold on. How come you jerk off Daredevil so much if you hate Ben Affleck?
Okay, first off, Daredevil is a guilty pleasure because it's Colin Farrell.
Okay.
Shit.
It just seems a little odd, is all I'm saying.
No, Colin Farrell makes that fucking movie.
All right, so
Continue, Jake.
Batman shows up, and then Superman's like, "Oh, this motherfucker!" Then flies over to him, picks him up in the air, not by the throat, by the cheeks for some reason, and says,
Tender touch.
the classic line from Batman v Superman: "Tell me, do you bleed?"
We all laughed. It was funny.
And then he says, "Alfred, bring out the big gun," which I thought was funny because it's Lois Lane. I was like, "Oh, of course she's the big gun."
Because he's talking about her
Amy
chest.
Adams.
And then she comes out and he's like,
Oh.
"Oh, plop!" Just drops Batman, which I thought was really funny.
Well,
What's up, baby?
then they take off for Smallville.
Which I think Amy Adams
I could not have given two shits less about that side plot.
of them going back home.
Don't fucking care.
Yeah.
No, about Ma can't lose in the farmhouse
Oh
to
my
the bank.
God.
I don't fucking care.
Again, they're just putting in shit that I'm supposed to care about, and I don't. It was just an excuse to get Amy Adams more screen time and Diane Lane more screen time. So
Don't fucking care.
exactly. When all that happens, and then off screen, Steppenwolf just yoinks the last mother box, which I thought was.
Oh yeah, no, that was
I'm
good.
sorry,
He's like,
man.
hey guys, look what I found.
I'm sorry. I think this movie's good because it's funny. Because it's so stupid. It's so silly.
It's unintentional. Okay,
It
so
takes
and then
itself
the whole time,
really serious. It's unintentionally funny at times.
Yeah. So the whole time, Steppenwolf has been setting up in fucking Chernobyl, of all fucking places, with the mother
Likes
boxes.
the
And
aesthetic.
that poor fucking Russian family. My God.
Good Lord. Again, you talk about a subplot that's trying to... Why am I supposed to care about this random Russian family?
Now, okay, first off, the part that made me laugh, though, is, the fucking parademon starts showing up. So, Russian guy decides to grab his gun off the wall. Motherfucker, you think this is going to help?
Might as well.
You get one or two of them tops, and then your family is fucked.
No one messes with Babushka and gets away with it.
Eventually...
And then the little girl gets a fucking can of bug spray, because ha.
So then they're like,
Good one,
well,
boss.
shit, that didn't work, but we still gotta stop Steppenwolf, so we gotta go to Russia. And then
Rish.
on their way there, we get a funny little Aquaman scene. Which, again, I think it's... Say what you want about bro Aquaman. I think Jason Momoa is the right choice for this character because Jason Momoa is just so likable and charismatic. And I think it shines through in this scene where he's just like, yeah, I'm scared. And he's kind of, then he says all these things like, yeah, you're beautiful. I know that like Amazons and Atlanteans aren't really cool, but I think you're attractive. And
I'm really conflicted because Aquaman showed me, if not Jason Momoa, who would have been a good Aquaman.
I have no idea.
No.
The guy who played his fucking brother.
Oh, Ocean Masters.
Yeah.
Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson would have been a dead ringer for traditional white, fucking blonde-haired Aquaman.
And I think they kind of played that up in the Aquaman movie, where it was making...
And maybe.
Man.
Well, do you still have Aquaman be the way he is, all kind of
No,
silly,
you wouldn't make
or
him...
is he the stoic stick in the mud?
No, yeah.
No, neither. He's a more self-serious,
I suppose.
And
then, so you're like, what's up with this? And then he finds out that, like, you were sitting on my lasso. I thought that was clearly a Joss Whedon scene.
Sure, yeah.
I liked it. I thought it was fun. Added a little brevity to the movie.
Well, and it shows the one thing that Joss Whedon actually excels at, which is why the first Avengers movie really worked, is because he knows how to build rapport and ensembles.
Yeah. I mean, the guy made Buffy.
There's one thing,
Come on.
Yeah, if there's one thing he's only ever been great at, it's juggling and setting up ensembles, whether it be Serenity or Buffy or Avengers. He knows how to work it.
Yeah, he does.
And it was nice to see, like, Jason Momoa's Aquaman have, like, a moment of honesty and, like, humor to it and not seem so overconfident and like, yeah, woo, like that. And it was just like, oh man, I'm scared. I think we're gonna die. And I'm young. I don't know. So anyway, then the final fight scene happens. They land down in Russia. They have their fights, the big fight with the parademons. Of course, we have the classic moment. One of the moments where Aquaman's fighting a parademon and gets hit up or he's falling down after killing a parademon. Thinks he's gonna hit the ground.
Cyborg catches him.
And
my man.
The moment of the movie, baby.
My man.
I don't care. I fucking.
I know. I laughed at that. I was like, yeah, my man. And then there was that other scene where he, fucking hits that one parademon.
He jumps on the fucking Batmobile.
Goes through the building, like surfs his body through the building, and then like jumps on the Batmobile, and he's like, dressed like a bat, yeah, or something like that. I don't remember what he said to Batman, but
it doesn't matter. You could literally add any fucking expository line and
any
it would work.
woo or yeah or my man would go into that.
You could literally make a soundboard and it would work.
Like I think that was the ADR of this movie. They didn't even have him re-record lines. They just played a soundboard off their smartphone. So all that's happening. Then we have a moment where we're like, hey, for some reason, this stupid-ass Russian family that you're supposed to care about, we should save them. And that little girl, she's going to stand up to those parademons because she has bug spray. Funny joke. I appreciate it.
The nesting dolls have bug spray inside.
Yeah. So, yeah, this all is happening. Then they find out where Steppenwolf has actually got the mother boxes, like his like lair, pretty much. So they go in there and they're trying to fight him and they can't do it. He's beating him up and he's like, "What do you don't believe in truth or something?" And then that's when we get the scene of Superman coming in and hitting him and he goes, "I believe in truth. I'm also a big fan of justice." And then he hits him.
But I'm about the world, so not the American way.
Yeah, because he's a globalist. He's a goddamn globalist.
Well, the American way is up in the air right now. That's all I understand.
Say what you want.
I don't know. Impeachment.
Say what you want about how cheesy it is.
Woo!
I think it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, like, this is kind of the Christopher Reeve shit I've been missing from Henry Cavill Superman, if I'm being completely honest.
Well, now he's gone.
Well, he's not, like,
He's not
forever gone like Affleck is.
Yeah, there's still, who knows. But the last 15 minutes of this movie is what everybody wanted from Justice League, where it's goofy, it's cheesy, and they're all having fun, and it's what the Avengers was, like that third act of the Avengers is just comic book porn, and we kind of get a little bit of that with Justice League, but that right there is what it should have been, with Superman saying a super fucking cheesy line like, "I believe in justice and truth in the American way," Like, that should have been in there in the first place. The reason that I don't understand the whole point of making a dark, moody, sad shit Superman and then putting him in...
Because that's just Zac Snyder's fucking...
Yeah, and then putting him in a world where Batman fucking murders people. And, I mean, I'm not one of those people that's, like, super against that, because technically Batman kills people all the time. Because, I mean, look at Tim Burton's Batman. Yeah. He kills motherfuckers all the time. Yeah, but all that stupid, sad, and dreary shit because they're, like, trying to be the opposite of Marvel, and I'm like, that's never what DC has been. They've always copied each other. They've always been the same thing.
Well, they're always they're always a reflection of society, as it were. In the fucking 80s, Marvel and DC were fucking edgy as hell. And in the 90s, everything got fucking moody and dark.
Yeah.
It happens. It's just the way it goes.
And I think you're realizing its shift, and it's happened, and it's still happening. Where, I mean, they made the joke in the first X-Men movie about wearing yellow latex, and then you fast forward to Deadpool and Deadpool 2, where you have I remember her name, Teenage Negasonic Super Warhead. She's
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
She's literally wearing a yellow latex comic accurate X-Men suit, and it's like, that's what people want. That's what they want now.
Okay, although to be fair, they made the joke in X-Men, and Wolverine never ever wore the yellow leather.
We got close to the end of the Wolverine.
We did get close.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying, and like, we even have a Batman in a gray suit in this movie, even, and
oh yeah,
you're seeing that there's room to have this Justice League movie be a fun, cheesy, campy movie. There's always room for that.
It doesn't have to be campy. It just doesn't have to be so fucking grim, dark, and self-serious.
See, fucking Chris Nolan did it twice rather, made it work, and now Zack Snyder's like, yeah, I can fucking do that. Let's go.
The Dark Knight trilogy ruined comic book movies that way.
Okay, but Snyder also tried to dial up the darkness to 11, whereas at the very least, Nolan tried to ground it in reality, while at the same time, he didn't make it so dark. Yes, dark things happen, but...
Well, I think the problem was we go to The Dark Knight, and then after that, we have Watchmen, which had been in production hell forever. And then they finally were like, well, if we can make a darker movie, then yeah, we could definitely make Watchmen. And then ever since...
But I mean, fuck, look at Batman Begins. I love that movie.
Yeah. But until you saw the MCU... There was a time when they were trying to make darker, edgier superhero movies, and then people were like, no, we're fine with watching Robert Downey Jr. fly in an armored suit.
Yeah, at least until Favreau got the green light to do Iron Man.
But the reason I really elaborated on that, in a way, this is effective, because when you see all the dark and brooding and just like overly nonsensical sadness and stupid shit of Man of Steel and BVS, when Superman shows up and hits him and says that, I was excited, because I was like, oh, look, they're finally understanding that this is okay to do. Like, this is what we want from Superman. We want this super
No,
serious Superman. No, I don't. That's Batman's thing.
See what it told me basically was that it took death to get the stick out of his ass.
He didn't chill out until he died. And they really
he decided to take a long break.
They really drove that Jesus metaphor home, huh? Because they literally killed him and resurrected him.
Jesus.
Or if you really want to get into it, maybe while he was dead, he had a talk with Paul Kennedy. He's like, "Hey, yeah, that shit that I said before the tornado got me.
Jesus.
Yeah,
God,
okay. Maybe I was a shitty dad.
That was dumb. I'm sorry, son.
There's such a better way to tell that story in that aspect. Like, it didn't have to be a fucking tornado.
It didn't have to be the world's stupidest fucking reason. Okay, I'm gonna go save the dog, but you could save me and nobody would notice. But don't do it."
Oh, yeah, let a bus of kids die, because nobody needs to know who you are. Yeah, Pocket, you're kind of a piece
Dad,
of
you're
shit.
an asshole. God.
You fucking sadomasochist.
What are you, a Quaid?
So, yeah, Superman shows up, beats Steppenwolf. Him and Cyborg destroy the mother boxes. They save the Russian family. There was another funny joke where Flash pushes the truck and then Superman just shows off by carrying a whole building and setting it down. I was like, oh, that's a fun joke. Again, that kind of cheesy shit still works because it's not that dreary, sad shit. I don't want to go into a superhero movie.
We're having fun.
Yeah, exactly. Have fun with these characters. They're goofy. Like, superheroes in general, based on just concept, are silly.
See, that's the thing. Justice League could have been the course correction for the DCEU as we know it. Instead, everything fell apart.
Well, the last 10 minutes are a course correction.
Yeah. The third act of this movie is a course correction.
Well, I hate to be the guy who says it, but it feels like the departure of Zac Snyder, for whatever reason that might be, was the impetus that could have saved the DCEU.
I think it does in a way. I think the real change happened with Wonder Woman. I think with what Patty Jenkins was trying to do with that, kind of put the wheels in motion, saying to DC, we shouldn't be going this direction. And I do agree in that aspect that once Snyder was out of the picture and Joss Whedon, they obviously went to Joss Whedon because, hey, you did a good job with these Avengers movies. You know what you're doing. We're gonna bring you in, do some reshoots. We want to punch this up a little bit, make it a little bit more fun and not as dreary as the other movies. And
not as shitty.
Yeah, and I definitely think the change definitely happened with Wonder Woman. Really, yeah, you totally saw the course correction in this movie, and it made better movies from it. Aquaman's a better movie, and Shazam is a hell of a lot better than the other movies.
Not so much with Suicide Squad.
Well, again, that was also... I mean, he didn't direct that movie, but that was still during the Snyder era, so...
Well, and, okay, so... Oh, God, yeah. So Suicide Squad suffered from quite a few different things.
Doesn't have a third act.
Sure.
Can't wait to cover that one. That's going to be fun.
Fucking talking about that Joker is going to kill me.
I got cable. No, what about Killer Croc or Slipknot or...
I'm actually good with most of the movie, with the exception of Joker and how the movie ended.
I am surprised at how much I liked, but man, there's a lot of stuff I didn't like. Oh gosh! Don't get me started on the fucking Diablo character.
The hindsight of Enchantress is what impresses me. How stupid they can fucking be. So the woman, she has this evil personality that sometimes she just flips into. What do you think the odds are that she would just do that at the most inconvenient time?
Or I hope she never gets angry ever.
But that's okay. We'll put her on a team and see what happens.
But I mean, what makes her different than any other lady? Am I right, guys?
Oh,
see, I don't care. We've already made too many sexist jokes. Might as well keep going. So that was Justice League. By the end of it, they saved the day, and then we have a post-credits scene where, well, before that we have a mid-credits scene of Superman and the Flash having a race, which. Okay.
Well, so we also get all the resolution from everything. So, Barry gets a job as a CSI.
Right. He gets the job that he's always wanted. Batman is...
No, not the job he's always wanted, because he's like the lowest man in the fucking...
Well, but
in the police department.
It's the same job that he gets in the show and all that shit. So,
It's a job Barry Allen
Yeah.
has.
Cyborg kind of reconciles with his dad. Wonder Woman goes on to be Wonder Woman again in Paris, France.
Batman goes off and broods.
Yeah. Superman hooks up with Lois again and is like, hey, babe. And then we get the scene of the Flash and Superman having a race, which Superman's cheating, by the way.
Because he's flying?
Yeah. He's not.
Yeah, fuck
he's got to
him.
run. So they have their little race, which again, it's clearly them being like, "Hey, we're sorry we made such sad movies. Let's have fun with these characters."
Well, and it's a throwback to a classic
Oh, it's in the cartoon, yeah.
story arc. Well, it's a cartoon, comic. It's all over the fucking place.
So then that happens, and we have credits, and then we have a post-credit scene with Joe Manganiello. I think that's how you'd say his name.
Manganiello?
Manganiello.
I don't know.
Joe.
The guy who married Sofia Vergara.
Flash Thompson from the first Spider-Man movie.
Magic Mike or one of those guys.
Manganiello. Okay. He shows up as Deathstroke, which
we'll never see again.
I really hope they fix that and put him in there because I think he would be a fucking awesome Deathstroke, personally.
I think they should put him in Birds of Prey. Just gonna throw that out there.
Maybe he's in it. Maybe he's a surprise cameo.
Well, Black Mask is in Birds of Prey.
Ewan McGregor, man.
Well, yeah, Ewan McGregor's in there because he's involved with Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh. Anyway, I don't know what else to say to that.
Yes.
He shows up on a yacht. Well, no, before that we find out that we're in Arkham.
Luthor broke out.
Arkham and Arkham Asylum, Gotham. Luthor broke out, obviously, and then yes,
I think it was Blackgate.
I feel like they would have put him in Arkham.
No, Arkham. No, Arkham's for the criminally insane, where Luthor is just an asshole.
Yeah. So he broke out, and then we see Joe Manganiello as Deathstroke show up onto a yacht, which he is on.
They got a league. Why don't we make one of our own?
Legion of Doom, or maybe Injustice League, or whatever. Anyway, yeah, that's the stinger of a movie we'll never get.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too.
Because it means we'll never have to deal with that fucking Lex Luthor again.
They better recast that motherfucker.
I tell you, man, that was a casting decision. Normally, I'm pretty like, okay, let's. I'm not like reactionary to things.
John Cryer for Lex Luthor.
Because he's already shaved his head.
No, because he's playing Lex Luthor in Supergirl.
Bring back Michael Rosenbaum, from Smallville.
Because he was bald.
He was Lex Luthor in Smallville.
I know.
Well, since Kevin Spacey is already a terrible motherfucker, let's just make him Lex Luthor.
Apparently, he was innocent. Yeah. So yeah.
Apparently.
Well, yeah.
Was he though?
No, yeah. I think he was acquitted or whatever. I don't know.
I don't think there was ever a trial.
And then one of the guy died, which is conspiracy theory shit. So that's I gotta pull this up real quick. We gotta play the Rotten Tomato game. It's gonna be interesting. Rotten Tomato game.
At the end, we're all losers. Ain't it a shame?
The Rotten Tomato game. All right, real quick.
Patent pending.
I want to say that what they should have done for this Justice League movie, I think this approach could have worked if they did the Justice League War, like DC animated movie. If they would have introduced all those characters that way, it would have totally worked.
Yeah, Justice League War would have been their best bet, even though they don't have Green Lantern or Shazam.
Or the part where Superman wants to bang Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah.
He can do that.
All right, so, Sparks, we'll have you go first. What is the Rotten Tomato score for Justice League?
I don't know, like 34%?
Ooh, very, very close, but not quite. Chance?
I'm going to say like 42.
It's 40%.
Yeah.
Chance was the closest. Here's the critics' consensus for Rotten Tomatoes. Justice League leaps over a number of DC movies, but its single-bound isn't enough to shed the murky aesthetic, thin characters, and chaotic action that continue to dog the franchise.
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Here's a couple fun reviews, trying to make it short here. from Sarah Stewart of the New York Post said, a pointless flail of expensive, yet somehow cheap-looking CGI that no amount of tacked-on quips or even Godot's luminescent star power can rescue.
Is that what she calls it?
I think his name is Chris Klimek from NPR says, a C-grade B movie wherein all involved fully satisfy their contractual obligations.
Snap.
Let's do one more because I usually do 3 of these. Taylor Smith says, this film was doomed to be clunky and uneven long before the dialogue was written. Yeah, pretty much. I'd see maybe 2 fresh reviews. So surprising. All right, now it is time to play the other game, the box office game. Now, I'm going to start doing this each week to kind of give you a hint. I will say this.
Cha-ching.
It did make money, obviously. The budget was $300 million. So, Sparks, what was the box office?
Okay, domestic or worldwide?
It just all time.
Just do worldwide.
So it's a worldwide. So yeah, it made money. Overseas, fucking World of Warcraft made money.
I didn't hate that movie, to be honest.
Didn't watch it.
Did gangbusters in China.
All right, so
Yep, overseas it killed. All right, so I'm gonna go 410.
no. A lot more.
Let's see. I know Justice League did crack $1 billion just because it was a big deal that it didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say I think it was Miss.
I mean, how do you expect for it to
Let's
make
say-
that much money when the other movies sucked?
Yeah, I'm gonna say like 850 million worldwide.
I'm kind of seeing conflicting things here, but no, yeah, okay. So you were wrong
Let's
too.
go on Box Office Mojo. Oh,
Yeah, hold on. So it's definitely more than that. So, or less than that. Sorry, it did not make a ton of money. I mean, it made money, but it didn't make like.
So 650.
Yeah, it's in that range. Hold on, let me double check my numbers here. All right, so Chance, what was your
You're what?
So
810.
850
50.
million.
Yeah, I have 679 million is what I made.
Okay, so not counting marketing.
Yeah. It apparently lost the studio. It said the budget was 300 million, but with like everything, all things considered, with marketing and everything else, it did lose the studio some money. So it wasn't necessarily a success. So
It was a bomb.
it lost the studio around $60 million. So yeah, it's amazing that a movie could make $657.9 million and still be a flop in today's economy.
No, not anymore.
Well, I guess not anymore when you have Marvel making literal billions and billions of dollars, and you have Sony or not Sony, Disney.
Well, didn't Han Solo lose?
I don't know. People are too harsh on that movie. I actually like that movie.
Don't really care.
Solo.
Solo's great. Someone can fucking fuck.
It's a swashbuckling good time.
They'll be
It's
there
a-
soon.
It made money, but it barely did. I think the budget was $300 million, and
Well,
it only made
Solo?
$392. Yeah.
No, Solo was like the first Star Wars movie to bomb because they pretty much what happened was they had Lord Miller to direct
Lost
it,
the
and
studio
Disney.
$76.9 million.
And then Rand Johnson bowed out.
No, it was they replaced Lord Miller with Ron Howard, and Ron Howard pretty much reshoot the entire fucking movie.
That's
So-
right, Ronnie Howard.
So if they didn't reshoot the entire movie, it would have made money. But since they had to like redo the entire thing, pretty much, that's why it was so expensive and didn't make money.
So, for context, you look at Justice League that made $657.9 million that in their team up movie, and then you look at
So we're gonna call it 658.
yeah, pretty much, and then you look at the first Avengers movie that just absolutely crushes, and that hits over $1 billion. So for context, yeah, DC really screwed the pooch on that one. Warner Brothers really fucked up, but I don't think clearly it's not the end, because we got Aquaman out of it. We got Shazam, Wonder Woman sequels coming, the Suicide Squad reboot sequel thing, Birds of Prey. So they're still going to be making movies. They're going to be fine.
They also named a director for the Flash movie.
Again, that's like the fourth one, I think.
Well, yeah.
People that keep.
It's the guy who directed it.
Oh yeah, I saw that, which will be interesting. It'll be interesting because I liked both those movies, so we'll see.
Andy Muschietti.
I think it's time to end this episode, and before we do, we've got to rank this movie. We'll rate it, rank it, whatever. However we want to do that. So, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'll go first. I would say, despite itself, I actually enjoy this movie. I think there can be fun to be found in it. Like I said before, it's unintentionally funny at parts. I think rarely there's some parts that just like with Cyborg, it's not the same character.
I don't even have to qualify it.
But I would say I would give it a 5 out of 10.
Chancy?
I'll be a little nicer to it. I'd give it a 6.5. Just because it doesn't bore me the whole way through, like other movies that I don't like do. If a movie bores the hell out of me, I will rank it lower. But there was actually some genuinely entertaining parts of this movie. Granted, they're not super frequent, but they are there. I really like Bro Aquaman. I just can't help myself. I think Ezra Miller's Flash needs work, but there's potential there. Assuming he stays on the role for the movie. I'm not super sure, but yeah, 6.5.
Okay. I'm not going to be nearly as nice, but I'm not going to be overly harsh either. It's not fucking Elektra. I am going to say about a 4.5.
Wow. That's incredibly harsh.
That's incredibly harsh? It's a half step down from yours, jackass.
Yeah, but I'm still, 50%. I mean...
It has problems. It really, truly does. There are some moments that make it enjoyable. Aquaman is a nice touch. There are fun moments, and there are moments where, God love me, I fucking just wanted to curse its name.
Damn you, Justice League!
But I think overall it's okay. It's not the movie that I've been avoiding watching, that I'm going to have to watch, which, oh God, that's going to be horrible.
What, are you talking about Venom?
No, I'm talking about BVS.
Oh, man. I'm watching the Ultimate Cut, bitches.
I have yet to watch that movie, and I'm okay with that.
I feel
Now, if that movie had one less Jolly Rancher, I'd probably like it a lot.
But it's cherry.
Yeah, speaking of problems with that.
You'll figure out what that means, Sparks.
No, I know what it means.
I'm going to say,
I'm aware of the movie. I just haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
If you've seen the memes, you've seen the movie.
Okay.
But, like I said, I think...
It's so awkward.
It's a fine movie. It's just... It's okay. It's not good.
It's the Justice League movie.
It's the Justice League of all the movies we've watched so far.
I mean, you spot on analysis, man.
I know, actually. They should have written that on the box. It's the Justice League of DC movies.
Oh, man. So that is Justice League. This is our longest episode, and it's mostly been us trying to right the wrongs of this movie. So thanks so much for listening. Next week, or whenever we put up this next episode, we will be talking about another classic from the early 2000s, Ghost Rider.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck me.
Shout out to Crackle
Can't wait.
for letting us watch it for free, so we don't have to spend money on it.
Oh, God damn it. Oh.
So you're not only gonna have to watch Ghost Rider, you're gonna have to watch Ghost Rider with ads.
Good news. So if you didn't have to piss
And
wins
we get
before,
to see Henry Fonda as Satan.
Yeah.
not
R.I.P.
not explicitly Satan.
Well, that's in the
Mephisto.
sequel.
It's Mephisto.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I hope you're ready for Sparks because we're gonna do that.
Henry Fonda, hail Satan.
Hey, you know what? It has one of my favorite bit actors in it, so it's okay.
You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna watch Ghost Rider for the next episode, and then the episode after that, we're watching Ghost Rider: Spirit of Vengeance. We're doing back.
Oh, thank God you didn't say Venom.
We're doing back-to-back Ghost Rider movies, baby.
Ah, fuck.
You gotta watch a good movie at some point.
It's that's like the saving grace.
Spider-Verse. I really like that one.
There are two saving graces for Ghost Rider. One is that part where he laughs in the mirror, which is fucking awesome. And the other part is, or it's the part where he's fucking transforming. He's just laughing because oh my God, Nicolas Cage.
No, the best.
And the other part is Donald Logue.
He's being himself.
The best part is in the second movie when he's like, he's scratching at the door.
Oh no.
If you really thought you wanted to see Nick Cage just unleashed, you were wrong. Because
No. You haven't watched Face Off.
oh, I have. It's a masterpiece of modern cinema. So until
Oh, I have watched Face Off.
Face Off,
Oh, that movie deserves its own podcast.
the Face Off podcast. Man. So if we ever do a Patreon, we should do bonus episodes of non-superhero movies, and that has to be the first one. We have to talk about Face Off.
Wait,
Well, we have to do that, and then we have to get a soundboard of
Yes.
Jake doing Nicolas Cage quotes.
Scratching at the door.
we talked about a little in Box Office Bros and just how batshit it is.
The bees.
Oh God, not the bees. So until next episode, we're talking about Nick Cage having a skull on fire in Ghost Rider. We will have a super day, I guess. I don't know. I don't have a good sign off. Good night, everybody.
Bye.